Hey, good morning.
All right, so we're recording and up and running. So happy New Year to everybody. And so what I'm going to do today, what we're going to go over is we're going to go over use what we learned last week, which is squeeze page. And then we're going to send that squeeze page over to Facebook as an ad this time. Last time we just did it as a generic post, but this right now, if you just do this one squeeze page that I'm going to build, you're going to definitely see that you're going to get business from it. You don't even have to spend more than maybe $1 a day. I mean, if you want to run it over the weekend and do $5 a day, which is what I used to do all the time, you can try that because that definitely works. So let's go through it. I've already built a squeeze page. I'm not going to go through step by step to do that again. I did that last week. The only difference in this squeeze page right now is what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a squeeze page that's based on reduced homes, prices, homes that just had their prices reduced. So this is something that will catch somebody's attention and something that you're going to want to post, because whenever you just post something other than a listing and you just say, look at these homes, you're going to get less response. But this one, since homes are so hard to find right now, if you if you do something like this where it's price reduced homes, then you're definitely going to get some traction on it. So what I did was right in here under the options, this is where you can choose different types of statuses. I used to do foreclosure homes and I got a ton of leads off of that. But I don't know if that's something you want to do now. So all I did was I went in and I put reduced as an option. So everything else was the same as what I did last week with building the squeeze page. I did Clearwater this time instead of Palm Harbor. So I'm gonna go in here and you'll see I built this one yesterday. What I did was with the hashtag, I made it a little more involved so that I knew where when these people came into my kvCore, where they came from, that they came from the specific lead generation, Facebook. And I just made it FB for Facebook, AD for ad, and then Clearwater reduced. That's what I named it as the hashtag so that I know what it is. So, and that's what you want to do, because you can go back to your history here and you can see all the pages that you built. So I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that there. And I built the squeeze page. I copied the link. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into Facebook Business Manager. Okay. You look at this, everybody has this, or if you don't have a business page, which I guess I can do training on how to do a business page, but it's really so easy. All you got to do is Google setting up a business Facebook page and it'll walk you through it. It's the easiest thing to do. So I have a Facebook account, a business account, which you will have if you actually set up a business page, then you can set up your business ad account. Okay. And it's just business.facebook.com. Okay. Right now, this has a bunch of other stuff in it because I already have an account. But if you don't, or you don't know if you do, just type in business.facebook.com. Again, it's just setting it up. There's nothing to it. You can Google that. I don't think I'm going to do a training on that either. So right now I'm in my business account and I want to go ahead and I want to run this ad, and I want to run an ad that's going to get leads, and all the leads are going to be funneled into my kvCore so I can start the automation. What we talked about last week is that with hashtags, you can start automation. So I went through that last week. So you can watch that video and then do this right here with the building of a squeeze page. So what I do is I'm going to go into Ads Manager. Now this part of Facebook is where you can also do custom audiences, which I am going to go over with you and how to do that, because I think that's something that you can do a custom audience, filter it back into kvCore, and you can do that to your database. That's low hanging fruit, people, you know. But this one right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use the squeeze page. So I have several ad accounts. And what I'm going to do, I forget I did. That was when Karen and I were doing stuff. I'm going to go in. Which one did I use? Okay. I did this yesterday test too. So once you're in your ads manager, okay, you saw where I was over here, it says ads manager. You can even Google Facebook ads manager and type it in and it'll bring you to this if you're logged into Facebook. But it's the business.facebook.com and it'll bring you to that menu that I showed you, and you're going to want to go into ads managers. Everybody has this. This is not something special. Mine just looks like this because I've run a ton of ads. I used to run ads all the time. So I have ads in here, and this was my second account. So you see I did valuations, I did open houses, I did market updates, other stuff like how much down payment do I need? These are all in the past. And they still would work. I mean, all these would work. I mean, you can run a home valuation page. I know everybody did that. Not many people are doing it now as much because they just think they don't need to do it, or they won't get anything out of it. I bet you if you started doing those valuation ads again, I think you would get some leads. So let's go ahead and set up this ad for this kvCore squeeze page. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into create, because that's going to start out the new ad. Facebook has all different kinds of categories that you can choose. Okay. And I can go into these and tell you which ones are better for what type of ads, but I'm not going to, because that would take a whole hour. I'm just going to go through it. I'm going to tell you right now what you need to be aware of, possibly brand awareness. If you're just running $1 a day to your database. The other one is traffic. That's the one you're going to probably use the most, because that's traffic to a website. Okay. We got these other ones, engagement you could use, also pretty similar to traffic. And then you have this one down here is a lead generation, where Facebook actually captures their information when they register. So you can use this, but you don't want to use this for something like this squeeze page, because you're going to capture their information and then you're going to ask them to register. And a lot of people get frustrated when that happens. So this is something different. I'll show you how to do this in the future. Messages, that's for doing chat bots and things like that. That's real advanced. Over here, conversion, this is more like, you could probably use conversions, but this is more like selling products. So we're going to do a traffic ad. So once I choose traffic, right down here, it says name your campaign. I hit that drop down. I like to keep everything the same for me. So I keep my campaign. I'm going to do this test 3. And I'll name the ad set test 3. And I'll make the ad test 3. Facebook wants to know because under campaigns, you can run different ad sets. Under different ad sets, you can run different ads. It gets confusing. I keep everything the same, so I know exactly what I'm looking at. So I'm naming this test 3, and I continue. So it automatically carries that over. This is very important. This is probably the most important part of this whole posting of an ad. If you don't do this, your ad will not go through. They will not approve it. You'll be sitting there going, why is my ad not working? Why? Because you didn't do it right. We're in real estate. Even me in the mortgage, if I run anything, I have to run it under the special categories. It has to be under housing. If you try to run an ad that has anything to do with real estate of any kind and you don't put this in there, they will not approve your ad. It'll just sit there. And sometimes they don't even deny it. They just let it sit there and you don't know what's going on. So you want special ad category has to be housing. Okay. That's all you really need to worry about on this page. There's all this stuff is for advanced marketing. You don't need to worry about it. Next. Ad set, the ad set name is the same, carries through. You want to drive the traffic to a website. You don't want to drive it to any of these things right now. Okay. The only other thing I would say we would use is Messenger in the future, but we're not going to go through that. So you want to drive it to a website. I'll keep this link clicks right here. I know I'm going fast, but you'd be able to just review it, rewind it and go through this. And it is this quick. It's really not that hard. So now the budget and schedule is what you want to spend. Okay. I would suggest if you're going to run this type of ad, $5 a day. Okay. I used to do $5 a day over the weekend and I'd get plenty of leads. But if you really want to crank it out and you want to, go over the weekend, let's say you want to go Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, do $20. That's $60. That's all that Facebook will charge you. And when you tell them what you want to pay, they don't charge you anymore. So this is what's good about Facebook is you have absolute control over how much money you spend. So I'm just going to do this at $5 a day. I want to start this today. And this is important also, you don't have to put an end date, but if you don't put an end date, Facebook's going to run a $5 a day ad forever. Okay. And then it's going to get expensive. Now, if you're running maybe your database ads, then I would run it the $1 a day and I would never have an end. Okay. I'm actually going to start that with myself. I haven't done that yet this year, but I'm going to start a $1 a day ad just to my database because that's $365 a year. If you can't spend that on advertising, then you're going to have other issues, but $365 a day, I can run this $1 a day and keep it going. In this case, we're doing this ad. So I am going to put an end date. So I'll run January 4th. I'm going to run it 3 days. So 1, 2, 3, I'm actually not counting today as the day it starts because I don't know how long it's going to take Facebook to approve it. Most of the time it's under 24 hours. If you're just brand new and you're starting, it may take 24 hours. For me, if I really actually ran this, I'd probably get approved in a couple hours because I haven't ran that many ads recently. But when I was running them all the time, they would approve my ad in 15 minutes. Here's where you're going to choose your audience. Who do you want to see this? And this is where Facebook changed their guidelines and everything. Used to be able to be very specific as to where the ad's going to be seen, who's going to see it, age. You can even put income levels. You can't do that anymore. So to get around that, you could do what's called a custom audience, set up custom audiences where you maybe in Remind, you run an ad, you run a search where you get all the homes in certain neighborhoods or cities and you upload that as a custom audience. Again, I'll show you how to do a custom audience. You'll have a custom audience as your database too, if you wanted. We're not going to use custom audience because I don't have one ready to go. You could buy a rental list, or you can even go in there's different sites that you can go in that will pull addresses and emails of people who are renting right now. And you could use that as a custom audience and then you could upload it. And that would be a very good way to run this ad. But this is going to be kind of like out there for everyone to see. So you can't change any of this stuff. You can't change the age. That's another thing that sucks about what Facebook did is I used to run all my ads at 25 and above. You can't do that anymore. You see, these are all grayed out. That's because of, Facebook thought they were discriminating and Fair Housing got involved and told them you can't do that. So you have to leave that at 18 to 65. So, but the location, you don't want to run this to all of the United States. That would be crazy. So what you do is you click that drop down and I just X this out. And then it'll say right here, please add a location because you got to put that in. So I want people you can live in this location or recently in the location. Either one's fine. So I'm going to put in Clearwater. Okay. You'll see why. It doesn't matter if you put Clearwater or Palm Harbor. because you have to do it in a radius. Okay. Clearwater plus 15 miles is the best you can do. You can't get more specific than that. Okay. So it shows the circle here. It almost covers all of Pinellas County. So I want to go down here through St. Pete. So I'm just going to move this to maybe 20. So I'm right here. And now I've chosen my ad as Clearwater plus 20 miles. So you can see this is where the ad's going to go to, and that's fine. Okay. So that's all I need to do in this area, because I can't do any more. I can't do detailed targeting. I can't exclude. I used to run it to where I would exclude realtors, so realtors couldn't see it. Now you can't do that either. So they've gotten strict about that. So that's all you got to do in this page. Automatic placement. You want to keep that there. Don't want to change that. Next. All right. So now you're onto the actual making of the ad. So right here, Pinellas County, you got to choose a Facebook page. This is where the business page comes in. Okay. You got to tie it to a business page. I have Pinellas County Real Estate Deals as one of my, I have a ton of pages. And so I use Pinellas County Real Estate Deals for this ad. I'll put that, I'll choose that. If you want to run it on Instagram too, which I would suggest doing, because believe it or not, people are on Instagram as much as they are on Facebook. So run it on Instagram too. It'll run in conjunction with Facebook. It's not additional. It's just another way to run it. So an Instagram account, I have one. I've already connected it. You have to connect it if you haven't done that already. And so I choose my Instagram account. And now what the ad's actually going to look like is you can do several different, and I've tested a lot of these. You have single image or video. Video is great. If you had a quick little video, you might want to run it with a video. I'm just doing it with a single image. Okay. There's carousel where you have like numerous pictures that go across the screen. That I ran an ad a couple of years ago where it was Pinellas County reduced price homes. And I ran a carousel ad where each picture was for a different city. I had a picture for Clearwater, a picture that got complicated, but the carousels where there's multiple pictures too. I've never used this collection. These two, I don't use this either. So it's just, I'm going to do a single image because I have an image of a listing from the past that I'm going to use. All right. So now we go down, and this is where it says add creative. Okay. This is where you're going to start doing the actual creation of the ad. So in this case, let me go up here. I've already got text. So primary text is the text of the actual ad. So let me get into that. All right, so I already copied this, so made it quicker. So this is the copy. And if you make ads, I would suggest doing that, because I used to have ads already, copy already to go in my Google Drive, so I could just go in and copy and paste it. It's better to do that than to try to create it each time. So I copy that. I'm going to put paste. And this is basically what they're going to see in the ad. I make this ad preview. Sometimes this doesn't work. Like right now, it's not showing me a preview of the ad, which is weird. And that's a Facebook thing. Sometimes I run it and you see the preview. Sometimes I run it and I don't see it. Like right now, Facebook's not letting me see the preview, which is crazy. I don't know why, but so this is the text of it. Attention home buyers, price reductions here. You don't have to have proper grammar and all that, because that's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to get their attention, and they're going to see this with emojis. I use these emojis. Get your list of Clearwater homes with recent price reductions. List includes pictures, address, and price. They want price. They always just want price, and they want pictures. They don't necessarily care about the address so much, but if you tell them what they're going to get, it then becomes more likely that they're going to click on it. Okay. If you just say something generic, they may not, but you're getting their attention and telling them exactly what they get when they click on it. Offer expires in 30 days. That's BS. I mean, but you're trying to get them to, a sense of urgency so they click on it. So this is the text of the ad, the headline. So I have that ready to go also. Headline. Oh man, this thing's in my way. All right, the headline. Right here's Clearwater price reductions with emojis. Emojis work great because they get people's attention. All right, so that's going to be the headline, or the headline of the ad. And then description, that's within the ad. That's not important. You don't necessarily have to put that in, but I always kind of repeat myself and put price reduced. And now again, grammar's not important. Okay. Description. And now I'm going to add an image. Go back up here and add an image. Okay. I got a bunch of images in here from past ads that I've run. You can upload right here any pictures you want from your computer, from your listings or whatever. They have their own images too that are in here that you can search if you want to. I'm not going to do all that, but they have stock photos that you can use that are ready to go. And some of these are all stock, because I never uploaded this stuff right here. Some of the stuff they have uploaded for me because they see I run real estate ads. But right here, I'm going to use this picture. This was an old listing. So I'm picking that. Maybe that's why the preview didn't work. You want to keep it this default right here. So this is what the picture is going to look at different types of platforms. That looks fine. And you don't have to do anything here. This is when you're enhancing the media. We're not doing that. Done. Okay, there, that's why. So now you see the preview of my ad right here. This is on the different feeds. This is what the ad looks like. Okay. So you can see. So I'm just going to stick with this feed right here, Facebook news feed. And this is what the ad's going to look like right there. So you see, this kind of gets their attention. It's attention home buyers, price reduced homes here. I put arrows. I do everything I can to show or tell the lead what to do. The more you tell them to do, they're going to do it. The less you tell them to do, the less they're going to do. They may not do anything. So I'm telling them, look below. This is what you're going to get. And this is the headline. And they know exactly what they're going to get. And learn more is what I use on every deal. On every ad I run, learn more seems to be the best. And you can change that down here if you wanted to, the call to action. If you wanted to do like listen now, order now, none of these really work. Sign up doesn't work. Learn more is the best and most effective. So I keep it at learn more. Okay. And there's really not much more I need to put in this. So that's how, I literally could have had this done in 5 minutes. So the next thing I'm going to do is where it says enter website URL. That's the squeeze page. Okay. That's the squeeze page. So I'm going to copy the link and then I'm going to put it here in the Facebook URL. Okay. It can be long. It doesn't really matter because they're not seeing this. Okay. They're actually, and I don't know why I didn't copy the short one, but I think when you automatically do this and you copy the link after it's been made, it will pull the long address. But like I said, in this case, it doesn't matter because they don't see it. All right. This is built into when they click learn more, it goes to this site. And which is going to be these homes that have their prices reduced just recently, and it'll bring them to that page. So that's really all you need on this page. And that's all you need to do. That is the end of publishing this ad. Now, I'm not going to hit publish because I'm not going to run it right now. But once I hit publish, it'll take Facebook, like I said, between, I think the quickest I've had one approved is like 10 minutes. I had it approved. They let me know, and they'll message you back that it's been approved. And they're really, a lot of times these are bots looking at these ads. They're not necessarily people, but they look for certain phrases and pictures and things like that that are going to trigger them to deny your loan. Like one would be, like I said, the special ad category. If you haven't chosen that, then you're going to get your ad denied immediately. Or they just, and they'll do this. You won't hear anything, and you're like, what is going on with this thing? I mean, and you don't know because you don't know what's going on, but you didn't choose special ad category, so it just sat in your account just pending. So you want to make sure you have all those steps that I went through. Literally, we've been doing this for like 20 minutes now, 20, maybe 25 minutes. And I went through step by step on this ad. Once you run these, you're going to get quick on this. It's going to be easy for you to do. So this really shouldn't take you any time to do. And once this is up and running, let's see if we can, you can actually preview it too if you want to. I'm going to preview this ad. So I'm going to share a link, kind of like I'm copying it. So I'm going to make a link for this 30 days. One of the things you can do is you can send this to your, if you're doing like doing a listing ad, this link right here, you can send to your seller and you can say, this is what I'm doing, because they're going to want to see what you're doing to advertise their home. So I used to send this to listing people and just say, this is what I'm doing. You'll see this. And I'll show you what it looks like. So let's see here. I'm going to copy this, paste this link in. Hopefully it actually just shows the ad. Yep, here. So with sharing that link and you give it to your client, you see, look at all these ads I'm doing for you. I mean, you only created one, but this is all the variations of what the ad looks like. And so you can review it yourself and look at it and say, oh, this looks pretty cool, or I want to change something, it's up to you how you want to do it. But this is all the different, there's Instagram, marketplace, video. I mean, it's all different places that Facebook put your ad. So this is what it looks like. I'm good with it. It looks good. I don't want to change anything. And so now I'm going to go back to Ads Manager, and I'm going to get out of this because I'm not going to publish this, or I guess I could publish it, and I'll just cancel it. It's on my account. So I guess since I'm in another test account, I have to put all this stuff in. You may have to put your business info in, but once you do that, I'm not going to do that because it'll take time. Once you do all this, it will publish it, and then it'll say pending. So Facebook's waiting to approve it. Some of you, if you have never run an ad, when you hit publish, you're going to have what we just saw here. You're going to have to put that information in. And then they're also going to want your credit card information. So you're going to that's where you're going to put your credit card information in for Facebook. Once you put your credit card information in, you can save it. You'll never have to do that again. And again, they only charge you for the days that you run it. So in this case, I did $5 a day. So this is going to run it for $5 a day and I only did 3 days. So the most I'm going to spend on this ad is $15. So with this, I'm going to copy this again, and I'm going to go back. So looking at the ad, when they click on learn more, the minute they click on learn more, it goes to your squeeze page, your Facebook squeeze page, which is this, which in this case was these reduced homes in Clearwater. So you see there's 19 homes that just had their prices reduced. And the cool thing about it is even on these pictures, it says reduced, reduced, reduced. So they're like, oh, I'm getting a home that, you know, the price just went down. Cool. So again, I had the squeeze page set up for 2 days, or not 2 days, two clicks, two properties. They have to put their name in and their email address to register. So I guarantee you, you know, I may try this out this weekend and I could show you guys the results, and I'll just funnel the lead. They'll go in Karen's Facebook from not Karen's Facebook, but to Karen's kvCore. So we can test this weekend if you want and see how many leads you actually get. Or I could run it for somebody on here and we could test it and see how many leads you actually get by running $5 a day. But it has to be something like this. I think more specific when you're running these things, when you run them to cities, the more specific you can be, like Palm Harbor, Clearwater, Safety Harbor. Now, if you ran something like Safety Harbor or a Palm Harbor, you may not get many price reduced homes. I mean, I know if I ran one in Safety Harbor, I may not even get a single one that comes up. But there's other categories you can run on your squeeze page too. You can run different, you know, unique scenarios if you want. The other ad that was successful for me from the squeeze pages is when you specified a sales price, Clearwater homes for sale under $250,000. I saw one of those ads that I had done, it was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, something like that. So you're not going to find you may not want to run under 250 because then you're going to get crap, but you may say like the one I did last week in Palm Harbor homes for under $400,000, and something specific, because that gets more clicks than just a generic search for homes on MLS. Everybody knows you can do that. So if you get specific, that's better. So that's how easy it is to run the ad. And like I said, I can test this over the weekend and see what happens. I like running ads Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'll hear some advertisers say that you got to run them all the time so that you get the search juice from Facebook. I don't know if that's true. I really don't. I mean, I got plenty of leads by running 3 days a week, and then I would, you know, start over the next week, because it's just, I never got that many leads during the week, unless it was an ad that was really cranking. It was always, all the ads came in over the weekend. So I ran it Friday, Saturday, ended it Sunday, and then reloaded. Every week I would run a different ad. If I had an ad that was very successful, like this one, if this was successful, I'd run it every week, you know, until it starts running out of steam. Then you just, you know, you create another one. But this is just one type of ad. I'm going to show you how to do a squeeze page on a different type of ad in a future one. I think what I'm going to do next week is do a custom audience with it going back to kvCore, because really for kvCore, you want to use these squeeze pages. They're free. You can have as many squeeze pages as you want, and I would just use it as much as you can. And doing a listing ad, pick out a listing from somebody who's at EXP and ask them, can you use their ad or use their listing to run an ad? Because you might, getting listings also, advertising a specific listing is very successful also. So that's basically how to run a basic ad. And I would do it every weekend if I were you. So anybody have any questions about the ad?
I do, Sean.
Okay, Brian.
So taking a couple of steps here. Karen and I have been working on Legendary Home Team
Right.
and what'smyhomeworth.com, and we were supposed to start doing webinars like this on Monday to basically piggyback or brother and sister with your kvCore stuff. And one of the issues that happened, we got a little bit of a delay, but we are going to be ready for next Monday. And one of the goals, one of the things that I'm going to be talking about is being a neighborhood specialist, so taking over a subdivision, if you will. So let's just say, for instance, East Lake Woodlands. That might be an area that you want to take, that's an area in your neighborhood or in your zip code or wherever it is that you're working. And what I was looking at, what you were doing, and this is kind of the question, is if you wanted to take over a neighborhood, and when I say take over a neighborhood, the main thing that you want to do is get all the contact information for the people in that neighborhood. An ad like this would really work well, wouldn't it? So if you put in East Lake Woodlands and you said in my kvCore, and all you did was East Lake Woodlands stuff to gather the seller's information, where then you could market to them. So anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. The delays were caused by the maps that we put in. So we had all of the neighborhoods already set up in there. And then when we added the new maps, the links got messed up, so they had to be there. And then we're making the second part of the question is, we're making all of these what'smyhomeworth.com pages customizable to each person. So to me, that would be a really good landing page that you could actually put to East Lake Woodland. So I was just thinking that I wanted to get your spin on what you would do to try and get business in a particular subdivision.
So what he's talking about is what I was talking about earlier when we were running through this, when you were choosing your, let me get to the page where the audience right here. All right, right here. When we chose our audience in this ad right here, which was Clearwater plus 20 miles, instead of that, what Brian's talking about is if you got all the seller information on a certain area, and you could pull it from whatever source you get it from, but Facebook has their own way to upload the custom audiences. They want specific fields. So let's say you have that seller list from this certain location, and you have it in there, right, where you have their name, their email address, and their phone number. Those are the three things that Facebook is going to use to find out if they have Facebook accounts. If you upload a list in Facebook and they don't have a Facebook account, obviously they're not going to see it. But a neighborhood or a city or an area where you have that information, you upload it as a custom audience. So you would run this ad to that custom audience, just to those people. Those people would be the only ones that would see it, and it would be specific to them. And you could run the valuation ad to those sellers, and they would see it on a consistent basis. That kind of ad, I may say, you know what, run it as a $1 a day or $2 a day, and run it every day. And then on the weekends, change your budget to $5. So on the weekends, they run it $5 because maybe they're looking on Facebook more. But you could run that squeeze page, which is the landing page for the home valuation. And I used to do, when I did my home valuation pages, I'd never use kvCore's home valuation. I always used Listing to Leads, or I had another platform that was better than kvCore, I thought, because I don't like kvCore's home valuation. But for you guys, the fact that you have your own landing, each person has their own page, which is a custom website, you could run your ad and direct them to just your page that will give them a valuation. Now on that, I don't know if you guys require them to register with email and phone number, but if you don't, you could run it as when I was showing this earlier, as a lead ad instead of a traffic ad. You could run it as a lead ad and capture their information, or a traffic ad if you're requiring registration. But I would, no matter what kind of ad I run in here, I either one, get that information from them up front, or I make them register, because you're not going to be successful with ads unless you're getting their information. So, but yeah, we could set up, every person has their own home valuation page. You could run this to, to whatever audience you want, and have them go to your home valuation page.
Hey, Sean, just a quick follow-up question, and then I'll let somebody else ask you if they want. Would you be willing, let's say that you do the custom audience next week. So
Yeah.
you've gone from, logging in to getting your first person in there, to getting your first group in there, to running or building a squeeze page, to running the squeeze page onto Facebook and Instagram on how to do the ad, which is what you did today. Next week, you're talking about doing a custom audience. And then one of the other things that we talked about that I think would be really, really important is for you to help us put a campaign together that when they're even if they're sellers, because even sellers that are selling a home, let's say in Eastlake Woodlands, and they're buying a condo over in Clearwater Beach, a lot of those, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to be getting a loan too. But
Right.
you talked about helping us build a custom follow-up campaign that's got some,
Yeah.
loan items in it that you could build. My question is would you be willing to kind of lead a workshop for us to where we all meet and implement these ideas that you've given us into our kvCore and into our business? And if so, can we try and maybe set something up like that for, maybe for end of January, first part of February, something like that?
Yeah, we can do a workshop like that, where we do a workshop and we all build an ad at that workshop, and I can make sure that everything looks good and you've got it set up right. Yeah, that could definitely happen. And we could, because a lot of this, the kvCore training bleeds through to Facebook, in my opinion, because you want to use kvCore to generate business. Okay. And then you want to use that business you generated, or those leads you generated in kvCore, to do the reaching out for you, in addition to you as an individual reaching out. But yeah, we can definitely do that and set that up. I would have no problem. You want to do it in person? We can definitely do it in person, where I can, maybe in the conference room, put it up on the big TV, and then run through it, or run through an individuals and see how they're doing. But
I
yeah,
think we can get about 15 or 20 people in the office. If we all had our laptops and you were up
Yeah.
front in that middle area, and we had it set up properly with some tables.
Yeah.
But I'll get with Karen and I'll get with you later this week, and we'll try and set something like that up. But
Okay.
that's kind of one of my goals, is to not just to take these classes, but to implement what you're,
Well, that's the
I
key.
think that you've got a
Yeah.
lot of great ideas, and you've shared those with us, and I want to implement them.
And that's what I want to say to everybody. That's why I made, like, this ad is so basic. And if you go back and just watch the video step by step, you're going to have an ad running within an hour. Okay. And within that hour, like I said last week, if you run these ads on a weekly basis and just count this as part of your marketing budget, you're gonna get business, and I promise you'll get a deal. I mean, if you run your ads, and let's say you just spend $100 a month on all your ads, and that's $1,200 a year. I mean, one deal obviously makes you profitable, but and that's the thing, once I started running these things and I started closing deals off of them, and I was like, I'm gonna spend $5,000 a year, because that means that's more money in my pocket. The key to these, as anything else, it's follow-up. It's the conversion. there's so many people that I've come across, EXP and other companies, these gurus who think they're gurus that are going to teach you how to do this kind of stuff. My question to everybody is, how many deals have you closed off of it? Because you can have the greatest ideas in the world. If you don't implement and you don't convert, this is a waste of money. I mean, it truly, if you're not willing to pick up the phone or to text or to video text or the video or whatever, there's all different ways to do this. If you're not willing to do that, or you don't have a person dedicated to doing that on a daily basis, this is not going to work. This is going to be just a waste of money. You're just going to create loan or leads and you're not going to get anything out of it. So this is so easy. It really is. I mean, a lot of people are intimidated by running ads. It is that easy. I just did that in, 30 minutes and knocked it out. And even though I know where to go, it's going to be easy for you. If you get stuck in the middle of this, call me. We can set up a Zoom. I did a Zoom with David this last week, and we ran, went through his custom audience, running an ad towards that. If you get stuck, just give me a call and we'll set up a Zoom or a time, or I'll be back in the office. I don't think I'm going to go to the office today, but I'll be back in the office pretty consistently. And I just been out because I was exposed to COVID like 3 times, and I thank God never got it. But I'll be back in more consistently and set up a time to meet there. I don't have a problem doing this in person because it'll help you. You're going to generate business and I'm going to get business from this, so definitely reach out to me if you get stuck. And any other questions? Anybody have any questions about the kvCore stuff we did last week with the building of the squeeze page or anything like that? On this ad, did I do anything different? Just let me know if you have any questions. If you're watching this on the recording, reach out to me. If you have any questions, text me. It's easy to text me. I always respond, and I'll set up a time. With the holidays over, I'm a lot more available, and just let me know if I can help.
I have a question, Sean. This is Marty. What is your phone number so we can text you?
Okay. So my phone number is 727-639-5968. 727-639-5968. And everybody feel free. I am definitely, I was going to try this thing. I wonder if I can do this. Anyways.
And your email?
My email, I would email me on my real estate email, because if my Loan Depot is my first initial last name, S McManaman at loandepot.com. Here, you can let me do this real quick.
Put it in the chat or something. Thank you.
You guys see that? That's my phone number and my email. You can email me on this one. It's just that you got to type out my name one time, and people they get confused with my name. So either one of those, you can reach out to me. If you get stuck, I'll put it in the chat too.
That way you can cut and paste. Thanks.
There, it's in the chat. So yeah, if you have any questions and you get stuck, feel free to reach out to me. I mean, I am busy during the day. Obviously, I'm managing people also. So I have my stuff that I have to do. I have to close loans, and but I'm always available to set up a time. I can even set up a time after hours if that's needed. But reach out to me. With anything we've gone through now, we've gone through, putting in contacts. We've gone through how to market to those contacts, then the squeeze page, building the squeeze page, building a squeeze page that you can just post on Facebook organically, and then building this squeeze page and advertising. So one of the things I'll do here in the future is a single property squeeze page. Oop, gotta get off of that. Single property squeeze page here where we're advertising a listing. That's probably as important is the one we just did. You'll convert on even if your home's under contract, still advertise it because you're going to get buyers. I mean, I know some buyers, they'll get frustrated. They'll call you and you say, no, I went under contract, but everybody knows that homes go under contract quick. So, you can use that. And the seller squeeze page is the home valuation, but you guys have, I'm sure, much better valuation page. I've seen it before and I know it's better. That's what you're going to want to use. So with that, I'm going to end everything if there's no other questions.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, no problem. All right. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Everybody, Happy New Year. And I'm going to end this now and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thanks.